So this is a legit emergency. I mean, if it's just me, then it's just me. But if it's not a legit emergency, then something ain't right with y'all. Like, okay, look, check this out. The Filipino stripper who is pinned with the charge of mailing or using a courier service or back to mailing uh, bombs to all these Democratic um, figureheads. Uh, those bombs were deemed to be incapable of exploding, and they buried those findings. And maybe you can prove me wrong. You can show me that where they did not bury those findings, and who did not say that. If I can't remember, because it's not my responsibility to remember everything. How often does this shit get happen? That it's like, as long as they don't fucking try to act brand new and coming off like they're fucking schooling me when I had the memory to contribute to my rendition and fucking you had it. Just as soon as I have it, you have it. And this hedge fund manager, Tom Steyer's, uh, is on the radar of a non-tech literate Filipino stripper who makes bombs that are incapable of exploding. You know, there was a perfect list until either he's an idiot or somebody fucked him over by making sure that he was the last person to get it. But anyways, nobody was ever in any danger, and we act like we just fucking front and act like we're in danger anyway. Like Hillary getting off the tarmac in Serbia or Sarajevo or something, Serbia somewhere, and she was greeted by little children singing with flowers in their hair and throwing rose petals and shit. And she's gonna say about those people that she was being shot at, snaking them up under the bus, just natural, just on the natch, just the way that that's just the way that she rolls. You can't get mad. That's how she fucking does. Um, there's also the thing about the sarin gas, which Ava Bartlett and other reporters have exposed at the world at the United Nations. Spoke at the United Nations, and people have a selective memory and don't recall that she gave you something to follow up on, which is to find out if sarin gas can be handled by relief workers just wearing a face mask only and nothing to protect their skin. And they're doing it again, and it goes against all conventional knowledge, and they run the narrative again. And your president, who I support because you voted, not because you voted for him, but because you voted and you took part in elections. So he's your president, and I support him because he's your president. But whenever 15 minutes of celebrity star power gets together to lay a guilt trip on somebody for not being informed or caught up or caring enough to participate in elections, I just took that as my cue not to. Like, if you're a dick for not voting, then I shouldn't vote because you're a dick for making so much ado about nothing. Then why do you know that, like, they never do anything. I know this. Like, it's better that they're not passing any bills, and they'd love to pass a bill. But how do people just know better and accept narrative anyway? And you're getting mocked. They're mocking the fuck out of you. If you don't have any reaction to Trump declaring that a chemical gas attack happened, and Assad was responsible for it, then it was a bunch of fucking, it was the Screen Actors Guild and TED Talks and fucking sucking off their token fucking saviors, the white helmets, and it was all a movie. Because unless somebody wants to prove that you know you can drill for a second sarin gas attack, by putting a plastic bag around a baby's head and having them breathe through a fucking cloth filtered cup in a hole in a paper bag, in a plastic bag. They're not training them the right way, leaving all the whole body exposed to fucking sarin gas. What is the fucking problem? What is the fucking problem? Really? Who's fooled by this and just wants to go get down with the bullshit anyway? You get down with the bullshit until a story comes out that you find out that there's some truth to it, and you got to rush to cover it, and then your dick is hard because you want to be on the other side. You didn't have the position. You didn't never rock your position. You got down with the bullshit. If you had a position, you stepped off your position. You can't get mad because somebody else is standing on your position, and you're mad because you can't kill them. To be blunt with you. That's how they are. That's how they fucking are. Now, I'm glad that they're talking about Epstein and everything, but they're going in too. You know, Epstein will get the worst of it, of the nine hells, but they're definitely, you know, going in. You know, they're just wrapping up their affairs and slam. You know, maybe not a prison or cell or anything like that, but how the fuck are you gonna come at me like I didn't know some shit that I've been. I actually took it a little too far. I used to picket. I was in Oakland outside the BART station telling people about this shit, and um there, I mean, I've seen so many times this story getting passed over for some sports, you know, or for whatever, you know, like all the little, you know, bullshit, taking pictures of food, you know, shit like that people like to do, walking the dog. I started hating people. I legit started hating people because what's the fucking point of knowledge? What's the fucking point of having knowledge? Now they're paying attention to something that needed to be paid attention to when it could reduce damage, and now they're going to use it to commit damage to somebody. You know, Trump. I mean, like, he does get down with the bullshit. I can't lie, but he's. I mean, if you think like like he might, there might be some explainable reason why he's being controlled. I can't say so much for a whore. I can't say so much for a whore. Um, I mean, there's so many stories. I shouldn't just make it be poignant, you know. But we know some things that, like, should have got to look at. Like, remember the John Lemon, what's his name? Don Lemon. Don Lemon uh, defended Podesta against voice recognition analysts that were saying that he was abusing his child on video. Or, you know, after they argued for, you know, lack of sufficient evidence, they forgot about the victim. They didn't even try to find out who she was, where this tape is coming from, all the normal human shit. You would just think that we have evidence of somebody to needs to be found out where they are. You might save a life, you know. See if they're still alive, that they might receive some psychotherapy, because they're gonna need it. But if you just don't notice, if you just don't care, when I don't think there's any therapy that can help you, Don Lemon. I think you've been completely given over to a prototype zombie program. Anyways, and I always can think of more shit, and I get mad after making a video because there's more shit I forgot to say on the video. I probably said it in other videos. It's all borrowing from other days of the week and shit, and trying to rework this shit in a way to to where people like me, they can um, present it to people like me, and I'm supposed to be like, uh, in woe, in awe. I'm supposed to be in awe at them and be like, well, thank you for doing this service and talking about that. Fuck you! I'm gonna punch you. I'm gonna sock you in the face. What are you talking about? You seen the way I'm going on my family? I'm going hard on my own family. This is exactly the reason why you can't let shit like this persist. And my family members were privy to anything I knew. I shared with them. They didn't give a fuck. They didn't give a fuck. And look at I'm fucking blowing you out now. I'm blowing you the fuck out. I'm fucking, what do you call that when they fucking put you on blast? I'm putting them on blast like I never knew them before. Doesn't it seem strange? I still get rides to work. They still go to Thanksgiving. I mean, we didn't have Thanksgiving because I got mad because I noticed the second that someone tells me not to interject, that if I get out the car and I leave my bags and I want to come back for my bags, you want to yell over. You want to be heard. Oh, now you want to be heard. Now you want to yell and be heard. And I'm not going to tell you to shut the fuck up and just drop my bag. Then you won't drop my bag. Then you want to yell at me, but you want to hold my bags? You crazy wench. You crazy. The only purpose that you serve is to ensnare somebody long enough for you to call for help. Then you're a shot caller. Make a call. Get him out here. Get him out here. Make a call. You're a shot caller. You tell them what's wrong. I can't have my property. You're gonna hold on to my property. You like to throw your friends under the bus. Y'all like to throw your friends under the bus. And you never admit it because it's like you're under a spell. They're under a spell. Like I'm hearing X-Files and seeing dead people. Fucking gravy, you know. It's not gonna help them. Like they have to, and it does do, like, what to do. Like they're doing now what they're supposed to have done before, and it needs to be done. But as soon as they're done doing what they have no choice to do, fucking go to hell. Do your what you can to fucking warn off whatever karma that you got coming in the next life, and get the fuck in the wind. Get the fuck out of here. Nobody wants to see. Nobody want to see you no more. You're burnt. Your face is burnt. Your faces are burnt. You know, like if it, like you missing out on a consumer by fucking pissing me off because I was a consumer. You know, these consumers that you like to appeal to now, those people are all getting old and they're all in hospice, and you only hold their attention during arts and crafts. You know, for just mere smidgens of time, like little speckles of time, and then all the other time, you know, they're looking out the window, like they're not focused on fucking listening to Jack Ripper or whatever his name is, Jack Ripper. These people got a way of a rotation where they take the attention off other particular individuals in their circle, and then sometimes they what's it called? Oh, yeah, they fuck it. Fuck the explanation. You know what it is. You know what they do.